Welcome into the Chiefs Report just moments after a dominant, and I do mean dominant, win over the Pittsburgh Steelers in Week 16. I'm your host, Harrison Graham, here to recap this one as Kansas City just dominates Pittsburgh at home. This game was never close. 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. Chiefs never looked back. 36-10 the final score. Patrick Mahomes efficient once again. No Travis Kelce, no problem for Kansas City. Big Ben Roethlisberger, well, he ain't so big-armed these days. He's just not the same quarterback as the Chiefs' offense was excellent. The defense was great. Elliott Fry's the replacement kicker with Harrison Butker on the COVID list. Not great, but otherwise, this was dominant in all three phases. If we're being completely honest, this was absolutely fantastic for Kansas City as they get closer and closer to securing the number one seed in the AFC. We'll also take a look at the updated playoff picture during this postgame show. All that and more coming up. But first, one-word reaction. This is how we usually open these shows. What is your one-word reaction to the Chiefs' win over the Pittsburgh Steelers in Week 16? My one word: dominant. I mean, this game was just never close. This was a dominant win for the Kansas City Chiefs over the Pittsburgh Steelers. So be sure to get your one-word reactions in down in the comments. It was a dominant performance. The Chiefs' offense was efficient, both running and throwing the football. They didn't miss Travis Kelce. Hell, Tyreek Hill only had 2 catches, and they were both on the opening drive. And after that, it was never even the Hill show. It became the Byron Pringle show. Patrick Mahomes on the day, an efficient 23 of 30, 258 yards and 3 touchdowns with no turnovers. Chiefs had no turnovers as a team in this ball game. He continues to play efficient. He continues to play, for the most part, turnover-free. Mahomes and this team are hitting its stride at the right time. The Chiefs are playing the way you want to play late in the season. And now, you know, you win 8 in a row, and that's great. But really the last 4 or 5 games in particular, the teams you've beaten, the way you've beaten them, even last week with some key players out to fight that adversity and beat the Chargers in overtime for a critical win, and then to come out and, you know, questions all week with COVID guys. Hill comes back, plays in this one, didn't do much, but just to have his presence out there was key. To dominate this thing, it's nice to have dominant wins because it makes it stress-free for players. This is a big one. To beat Pittsburgh 36-10, and it wasn't that. This game was 30-0, guys. Like, this game was never, and I mean never close whatsoever. Great Mahomes play against Pittsburgh, A, B, C, D, or F. A-. He missed a couple throws. Him and Josh Gordon slightly off. He overthrew him once. Gordon had a couple chances at some tough catches. Couldn't reel him in. You know, it would have been nice to get Josh Gordon established in this game, but you know, for the most part, Mahomes and the offense was great. So I'll give Mahomes an A-. He was absolutely fantastic. The offense as a whole, efficient. They could have put up 450, 500 yards, but they obviously slowed things down after a 30-0 lead. 381 overall, 254 passing, 127 rushing, 5 of 12 on 3rd and 4th down, no turnovers. That's the key. When this team doesn't turn the football over, they just don't lose. I mean, it's as simple as that. When Kansas City is playing turnover-free, they don't lose games, and that is the key for this team moving forward. If they win the turnover battle, I think they're going to win the whole thing. That's just what I believe. Now, a one negative to talk about offensively and for this team as a whole, coming off this win, which obviously there weren't that many negatives. Clyde Edwards-Helaire did leave with a collarbone injury in this ball game, and he did not return. So keep that in mind. Collarbone injury for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. You know, obviously you want him out there. It's a position, though. If you lose a guy, you can overcome that, and that's kind of been a problem for CEH. He's had some injuries over the years. And, look, let's be honest. If it's broken, which he didn't return, which means it's possible, he's probably done. That's usually an 8-week injury. You're in Week 16. Let's say Week 17 is 1 week. Week 18, let's say they get the bye week, divisional round, championship game, bye week, Super Bowl. That'd be about 7 weeks. Could he return for the Super Bowl? Maybe. I don't know if it's broken. Andy Reid's having his press conference probably right now, so I'm not sure if he has announced that. But if it's broken, he's done. If not, you know, if it's a bruise or something, maybe they sit him out the final 2 games and get him back for the playoffs. We'll have to wait and see. But good news is Darrel Williams is running hard right now. Derrick Gore is playing good football as well. that's a position you can just plug and play in this offense. So that is the good news. We'll certainly monitor that story here on the Chiefs Report. Now, make sure you guys get this hat and T-shirt combo. It's been a big hit with you guys. I know Christmas has passed, but it's still 50% off, and you can get this deal right now at chatsports.com/Chiefs deals. Some of the best deals are after Christmas. That's when you get the good value items. And then you just be like, well, Mom, if you want to get it for your mom, the mail's been slow this year. I bought this 2 weeks ago. And they'll never know. And you get a good deal, a late Christmas present. That's a win-win for everybody. Chatsports.com/Chiefs deal. That link will be in the comments. It'll be in the description. Click and shop today. Get this hat and T-shirt combo. Sweet shirt, by the way, Chiefs Kingdom. I almost feel bad, by the way, for Ben Roethlisberger, and we'll take a look at the defensive stats in just a moment, but it's just like the guy just didn't have a chance. He probably shouldn't be out there. I don't feel completely bad because the guy's made so much money in his career, but man, he was just swarmed today. He's not good anymore. He just had no shot in this game. That's why I really didn't worry about this matchup as we look at the defensive stats as a whole, is Pittsburgh's just not explosive. Even without Kelce and Hill only being, slightly involved early, this game didn't really worry me because they don't have the offense to score in bunches. Whereas Cincinnati next week, that's a different deal. The Bengals, that's going to be a real battle potentially. 303 overall, but a lot of that's in garbage time. 173 passing. On the day, again, garbage time. Mason Rudolph came in late, drove him down the field. Didn't score, but got some yards out of that. Rushing yards, 130, third and fourth down, 7-16, and then 3 takeaways for the Chiefs defense. Again, you win the turnover battle 3-0. That's you do that with the way the Chiefs can score offensively, you're just not going to lose games. So who gets the game ball? Let's hear it. Who gets the game ball for the Kansas City Chiefs? Get your votes in. You could give it to Mahomes. You could give it to Byron Pringle, who had 2 touchdowns. You could give it to some guys on defense, Steve Spagnuolo. I don't care. How about Patrick Mahomes? Because he passed Trent Green with the most touchdown passes as a Chiefs quarterback at Arrowhead Stadium. So that's cool. I'll give it to Mahomes for that reason. So here you go, Patrick. Just take it. Just take it. All right, here's the playoff picture update before we wrap things up here. Chiefs control their own destiny. Sitting there at 11-4. Titans at 10-5 now. Keynote, Titans would have the tiebreaker because they won head-to-head, so keep that in mind. Chiefs did clinch the AFC West today with a win. I think they clinched anyway with the Chargers losing. I can't say 100% either way, though. Once they won, they definitely clinched. Yeah, they did win, or clinch it with the Chargers losing, but winning it just confirmed that. Titans sitting there. Bengals next week, that's an interesting one. Bills beat the Patriots, so they slide back into the top 4. Colts at 9-6. Patriots at 9-6, Ravens at 8-7. Big win for the Raiders today. They're at 8-7 along with the Chargers, and then Pittsburgh at 7-1. Miami could get to 8-7 on Monday night. Cleveland, Denver, mathematically still alive, but you feel like they're pretty much done after losing this week. One thing's clear to me: Chiefs are the team to beat in the AFC. I don't think Tennessee without Derrick Henry, maybe he comes back, but even if he does, I just think the Chiefs are a different team now. I think if they played Tennessee again, they would beat them. Buffalo, obviously, when they're playing well, they're dangerous. New England was looking good for a while. They've lost a couple. I think the Colts are a dark horse type of team, but no one really scares me. If the Chiefs play their best, they're going to win. I mean, it's just as simple as that. It took a while for them to get going this year, but once they did, Kansas City became Kansas City again. I mean, there was a reason they were talking this offseason about 20-0, and now they've won 8 in a row. They're not going to go 20-0, but if they won their last 2 games, it would be 10 in a row to end the season, 3 more in the playoffs. They could win 13 straight to win the Super Bowl. Wouldn't be a 20-0 season, but that would still be a pretty cool deal overall. All right, so will the Chiefs clinch that number 1 seed in the AFC? Let's hear it from you guys. Type Y for yes, type in for no. I think they will. Certainly Cincinnati next week, as we'll talk about in a second, is a tough game, especially on the road, but I still think the Chiefs are going to get that top seed. Type Y for yes, or you can type in for no. Hit that subscribe button. We'll have videos for you guys leading up to next week's game against the Cincinnati Bengals. Plan is to go live on Monday, barring a significant change. So we'll be live tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central Time, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. Hit that subscribe button. We'll have you guys covered throughout the rest of the season and, of course, on into the playoffs as well. Okay, so real quick, remaining schedule at Cincinnati. ignore the misspelling there, at the Broncos in Week 18. Playoffs start after that. Hopefully during the wild card weekend, the Chiefs have a bye. But obviously the game to keep an eye out. Denver doesn't scare me. They lost to Vegas today. They'll beat them if they play their starters. Chiefs may not have to, depending on what happens next week. But next week's the game to watch against Cincinnati. Chiefs, Bengals at Cincinnati. Big game. I mean, there's no doubt about that. You beat Cincinnati, you're going to get the 1 seed because you'll beat Denver in Week 18 if you have to win that game, in my opinion. Joe Burrow threw for 525 yards and 4 touchdowns today. That ain't Big Ben. Like, Joe Burrow can do some things now. So we'll see what happens there. I still think the Chiefs will be favored, and they should be, and they should win, but Cincinnati's a capable offense. There's no doubt about it. You know who ain't? Pittsburgh. Chiefs 36, Steelers 10, as the Chiefs take care of business in Week 16 on the NFL season. We'll see what happens on Sunday and Monday night with the remaining games this week. And then, of course, we'll get ready for next week against the Cincinnati Bengals. Chiefs take care of business. They absolutely take care of business against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Give me a follow on IG. It's at HGramNFL. We crossed 1,000 followers during our watch party. Appreciate you guys for tuning in for that as well. So give me a follow over there, and slide in the DMs. They're always open, always down to chop up some Chiefs football. And with that being said, we'll see you next time here on the Chiefs Report.